Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'll wait for the podcast to begin.
All right.
You're
Well,
gonna
hey,
forget.
we're gonna start the podcast right now. Bam. We're we're in the podcast. We're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast. Even though I don't know what we're calling the series of movies with Halloween. We never came up with a name for it, but
I'll have one before this podcast is done.
well, this one's going up Monday. Tomorrow,
Yeah,
so
I'll have.
okay.
I'm saying, in the time it takes us to record this, I'll think of an amazing title for this.
All right. Well, we're here with episode 1 or whatever it is with the OG Halloween from 1978. It was something. I don't know. I I'll I'll give this movie like an even 5. Like movie wise, historical wise, it's like a 10 or whatever. But movie wise, if you watch it nowadays, it's like ooh.
It's rough.
So
It is rough.
Maverick, what you got, my boy?
I've watched this movie before, as you know.
Yep. You complained.
I'll give this movie a 5 at first.
At first.
It again, it's a 1. It's a 1.
Goddamn.
There we go.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know what you guys are like. Yeah. You got to remember, this is all started here.
Well, that's not true.
Well, kind of true.
Kinda. But Black Christmas really started it, but
like I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 5 because that means you'll rewatch it.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna like enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Like it was okay once and it was kind of slow. So
yeah, like you always go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna give it a 7, but I'll tell you why I didn't after we do spoilers and everything.
I was thinking about giving it like a 6 or something, and then like as I was watching, I was like, I can't. I was like, I just gotta give it a 5. Like it's a movie you should watch, but like it definitely it's aged a bit. So, but anyway, we're gonna get into spoilers in case you've never seen Halloween or don't know what it's about. But yeah, Halloween, 1978. So Tyler, what was the question you were gonna ask?
Oh, it has nothing to do with the movie.
Oh, we'll go ask away anyway.
So, all right, if you're afraid of heights and you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you're terrified, right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna eat some cinnamon rolls at the beginning of this. Hope that doesn't bother anyone.
It's gonna bother the fuck out of me. But so you're afraid of heights and you look down
with a goddamn
and you're like,
fork.
Oh shit. So if you're on like the International Space Station and you're looking at Earth from like above, does it still give you that dread of oh shit?
I don't think so.
What about let's better yet, like you're flying in a plane and you're looking out the window. Because I mean gravity's still there. So
the only reason I think it's different is because you're inside, you're enclosed. So something about something about that like messes with your mind, and you don't feel as vulnerable as if you were outside looking down on a cliff.
I mean, even on roller coasters, you still get that dread, and you're like locked in. And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
You don't
to be fair, I've never been in a plane, so I can't. I can't tell you. I don't. I don't have experience.
You're as plain as they come. What do you?
Shit, you're really gonna. Really gonna.
Well, no, I was watching the video of the Earth from the International Space Station, and I was like, imagine if you were just falling, And then but anyways.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Spoiler warning.
Thanks for that question. Spoiler warnings. Yes. Oh. All right.
All right.
What do we want to get into first?
First thing, the reason I gave this movie a 5 instead of a 7, is because for some reason they made Michael Myers make this god awful noise the whole movie. Where he was like
the breathing or whatever it was.
Yeah. And like I was like, why does it keep sounding like that?
That was I remember in like the 2018 Halloween, like that breathing was like in it or like a small part of it, and I was like, I don't remember that. And then I watched this movie and I was like, oh, never mind, this is everywhere. Like the whole movie, he's
Yeah. Sound like a dog with a chew toy. And
he
I was
really
like,
did.
you just need to stop.
Yeah,
No.
oh, that's how he sounded. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was a heavy breather for sure.
So I have a
But-
couple questions.
Okay.
Maybe you can answer them. Maybe Maverick knows. All right. So Michael Myers, beginning of this movie, he kills his sister.
He does do that.
Now my question is, why the fuck is he outside to begin with?
He starts outside. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a kid. His mask is inside and everything. So
Yeah.
you would think that.
He wasn't like trick or treating or nothing.
Yeah. So it's like, why is he outside?
I don't know. It did give me when he's outside one of my favorite parts of the movie is where he just looks up and like the light cuts up upstairs and it's like like some weird sound. And I was like, what are the sounds in this movie are crazy.
They're weird.
Where
Very weird.
they're weird and it seems like that's all the scares come from is the loud music that John Carpenter does.
Yeah.
Like
Second problem.
the music
with
cues.
this film.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the boyfriend of the dead sister because they go upstairs. She gets connected. He
Yeah.
comes running downstairs in less than probably
Like a
43
minute.
seconds.
He got the nut out and then he was like, all right.
Yeah, and then he looks back and he's like, deuces. And
Mhm.
he just takes off. And I'm
Later,
like,
bitch.
I was like, what did this guy do? It only took that amount of time.
Is that not normal? I mean,
Marvin's like,
But
I
yeah.
see no problems here.
yeah.
So, like, you start off with that, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to time jump to the end of the movie.
Goddamn.
Time jump.
Time
You see
jump.
the kid. He looks like a completely normal kid. He doesn't have black eyes
Yeah.
or any of that stuff. Well, at the very end, JLC, Jamie Lee Curtis, pulls
Mhm.
off his mask,
Yeah.
and he's got this deformed,
He
misfigured.
looks like Sloth.
Yeah, and I was like, I've seen this kid. He was fine.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing wrong with him.
I saw that and like I was like, what? I was like, why does he look like that? And then I was like, maybe that's just because he gets stabbed in the eye with the sewing needle
Yeah.
right before it. So maybe I was like,
Well,
maybe
no,
he didn't.
He
Go
gets
ahead.
stabbed in the side of the neck.
That's right. He gets stabbed with the clothes hanger through the eye.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, maybe that's like just because his eyes messed up. Maybe I'm seeing him wrong and like he just looks like that. And then you go and look and like, no, he looks like that.
Yeah.
And so- But the weird thing is then I saw that if I could find it real fast. Anyway, whoever played that when they took his mask off or whatever, John Carpenter talks about how for years he keeps talking about how everyone was so terrified when they took that mask off and he was so deformed. And John Carpenter was like, that's dude's real face. We just threw some like makeup on his eye. So that's
Oh,
just
shit.
how he looks. And I was like, how does that dude look that way? But apparently that's how he just looks in real life.
Yeah.
'cause-
I'll share a picture.
Okay. Now we're sharing a picture.
I don't know where to. Like, there's no picture.
Here we go. But actually, all they saw was the ordinary face of the actor Tony Moran playing the role. Perfectly normal, except for the small knife wound inflicted by Laurie during the struggle in the closet. Also, I don't know why that would have anything to do with it. She stabbed him like the
Yeah, he
neck or
looks pretty
whatever.
normal here, but it's just that eye.
He has like makeup around it, but
Yeah.
Oh, is this
Like a different
Mike from
tone.
in the movie? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something with that lip. that bottom. Yeah, yeah, something.
I mean, even that picture, it looks like a mannequin, right?
Yeah, it
it's
looks.
the makeup around the eye, like the eyelid,
Mm-hmm.
and the cheek. They put like a lighter skin tone
It's
on it.
yeah, it's something. It's weird looking though.
Well, Tom's
Talking
gonna be
about her
true.
looks, She looked 10 years older than the other high school. I guess they're high schoolers that she was hanging out with.
She was wearing like crocheted pants or something.
Yeah.
She looks so much older than them. I was like, dude, she looks like she's 25 hanging out with 17-year-olds.
Hey, do you want to know? You want to know something funny, real fast? She's the only one out of that group that's actually a teenager.
That's crazy.
So she's
Crazy
the
part
youngest.
I would dig down any of those other girls, and they're probably like 70 right now, right?
Yeah.
Like they're probably all dead.
Hey, aging like wine.
Yeah, they
Maybe.
can call
I
me.
don't know. I haven't looked them up.
They can call me. I mean, worst hairdos ever, right? But that's just the
That
time
was the
they were-
70s, man.
Yeah,
I kind of digged it.
that lady who has like the really curly like fro hair, but for some reason it was parted on like half of her head.
Yeah.
Then
Am I the only one who thought it was weird that lady, like, just started, like, taking off her pants when she was babysitting that girl?
well, no, she
Which-
was
She got
there.
full naked, right?
Yeah, well, no, she had underwear on, but
She had underwear. Yeah.
Listen. That doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was weird that she was like, "I need a robe," but like back then, the babysitter was like almost like family, right?
That's,
like,
yeah.
Well, it had to be someone you trusted, right? So
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, as much as these people are fucking off babysitting these kids, maybe not.
Really. I mean,
Right,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. They're,
why is it like a theme for the babysitter to go through like your liquor cabinet or something, or have a guy over if it's a female?
Yeah, that's
Just
just a
I'm like,
whole...
why is that a thing? That's never happened. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, can we
All right.
talk about the worst one, which is Blondie showing up with her boyfriend to the one we talked about got naked or whatever, and then she's like, the guy's like, all right, so I go in, I take your clothes off, then I take her clothes off, and then I take Lindsay's clothes off, and I'm like, Lindsay's 7, dude. What are you talking
Jesus.
about? Like, he's talking about the little girl. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So, big problem here. So I don't know the girl with who spills butter on herself and gets naked
Mm-hmm.
and tries to climb out a window and gets stuck. And I thought it was hilarious. I was
Yeah.
laughing so hard. But so Michael chokes her out in a car,
Yeah, he does.
and then when he gets done choking her out, she like starts closing and opening her eyes, and then moves her head down, and she's like, eh. But I
Well,
was like, how does this work?
he chokes her for like full minute, and you get a full minute of her being like and then he just at the end of it, like cuts her throat with the knife, and I was like, why did you even bother choking this bitch, Michael?
Yeah, he was like, this bitch wasn't dying fast enough.
Yeah, he got tired.
He's like, God damn, die already, Jesus.
There were so many people in this that he just didn't use a knife on, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
Like
the
was
girl
not-
who he chokes her out with the telephone cord, and then she's on the phone with JLC, and JLC thinks she's just like having sex or whatever.
Pranking her? Yeah.
Yeah.
real funny.
Yeah.
So it's a good
Which-
movie.
I will be honest. I gave it a 5. I did enjoy it more than I thought I would watching it. So take that for what you will.
I'm gonna say this. I thought it was better than I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh yeah, I would probably watch Halloween over I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, like
Well, I gave I Know What You Did Last Summer a lower score. So
I think JLC ruins this movie, but that's just my opinion.
yeah,
Damn.
She's too, in my mind,
There-
she's like 0 to 100 so fast.
there's something. Keep in mind this is her first role, so take that for whatever it is.
Well, H2O, I had the same.
You did
complaint,
say that,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah,
But there's some movies that she does really well in where they're like, "Hey, this isn't a horror," and she's like, "Okay," and she's an amazing actress. But
yeah.
as soon as they're like, "Hey, you're gonna be a scream queen," she's like, "I will scream every word you give me." They're like, it's not necessary, Like,
I did like when Mike. So for Mike fucking jacks a car in this movie, which he seems to jack a car in a lot of movies apparently.
Yeah, he does.
But he.
so I had no clue that was him.
Oh yeah, when he
It shows the
busts in,
station wagon, and then like this like guy in a gown comes running up on top.
jumps
of it.
on top of it. Yeah,
I was
Was
like, "Look at
that
this
him?
crazy little."
that was him. Yeah, that was who stole it.
What?
That
I didn't realize that.
that scene where he busts out the window when she's standing there to make
Yeah.
sure they got it in one take. I don't know. I might go back and like pause on that section.
There's something on his hand,
They
right?
taped a wrench and just colored
Yeah.
it flesh color so he would smack it and it would break the window.
I was gonna ask because it looked like he had a hole in his hand,
Yeah.
or like a mouth or something, and I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
"What
There
is
you go.
going on?"
Yeah, that's a wrench that they taped onto his
Why
hand.
did they use a real fucking window? Like,
Listen,
stained
man,
glass?
the budget on
Come
this
on.
movie was minuscule.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty
they-
sure they killed that dog in real life.
That dog, I saw how they did that too. They the dog trainer, that's the dog trainer holding the dog there. He just sort of slowly drops him like naturally. And so that clip of the dog, like his legs going down when Mike's bear hugging him, that's just slow motion of them dropping the dog.
And then they killed it.
Then they
because
killed it. Yeah.
you know, they were like,
Mike was killing dogs all over the place. That was the one thing. Like after not seeing this movie for years, I remember hearing about it a while back and being like, "What?" When they go into the Myers house and there's a dead dog, and Lewis is like, "He must have got hungry." It's like, what? Mike's out here eating pooches.
yeah, he
At
was like,
least
it
it
could have been a
wasn't as-
skunk.
At least it wasn't as bad as Funny Games, dude.
Funny games, yeah.
Yeah, killing dogs and shit.
Well, you never
Oh,
saw that dog get killed. Heck, a cannibal holocaust. Ooh.
Yeah,
They didn't kill a puppy though.
May as well.
They may as well have, yeah. But
But yeah, this movie was really good. It had like the right amount of nudity, like the weird kids and stuff. It before you told me that this inspired the Jason movies and Jason was just a ripoff of it,
yeah.
I was like, maybe. I was like, they're the same like genre or whatever, but it's almost like the exact ratio, right? Of like random teens naked and everything else.
Yeah. I think like later on, I think Friday the 13th really bumps it up, like just with nudity and stuff. But I was surprised. I forgot how many naked people were in this movie. Like for some reason, I didn't think there was that much. But yeah. Hey, this movie had a budget, since I mentioned it, of $300,000. Made a box office of $70 million. So, and then I saw like an inflation number, and it was something like $144 million it would have made today or something. So, it's they made a lot of money off of this movie. That's not true. None of the people working on this movie, except for like the producers and stuff, made money, because they just went in on they would get a percentage of what the movie made. They weren't getting paid like a check. So they got percentages. Donald Pleasance got $20,000
Jesus.
for his.
That's how I would want to do it. A
Yeah, but
percentage
20
of whatever.
grand.
20
in
grand.
the
It's
that's
a
a
lot.
house.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, only got $8,000 or something, which still a lot of money. But
Well, if you think about it, she's
I
the
don't
main
think so.
character, but she's
I
not
don't
in the
think
movie all
$8,000
that
was.
much.
no, I forget. Like Loomis and Laurie don't spend a lot of time in this movie together. He only shows up at the end to help her out.
Yeah.
For some
That
reason,
poor little-
Shoot that motherfucker.
That poor little Thomas kid who fell on the pumpkin should have
Oh
got
my
more money
God.
than Jamie Lee Curtis.
yeah, that poor little kid. Yeah, that was.
I felt so bad for him
Yeah, that was.
because no one believed him. He was like the boogeyman. They're like, "Shut the fuck up, kid. Go to your room.
Yeah.
I'll beat
I
your ass
saw
in a
him.
minute."
He was outside. What would he look like? The boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So,
We could talk about one of the most famous scenes from this movie. This movie's full of famous scenes, but arguably the most famous is when she's in the classroom and she looks out and Mike's staring at her from behind the car, which I didn't realize until when we watched it that that's the car he stole. For some reason, I thought that was just a random car he stood behind, but that would explain why the car disappeared as well when she looks back. But
can we talk about the scene where Loomis finds the truck? And it's like, dude killed this random guy for no reason.
Yeah. That's
And
where
then
that's how
totally
they explain
jumpsuit.
where he got his jumpsuit. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you got killed this garage dude."
But then, like, it's like, why didn't he take the car? Because, like, that car had to be running out of gas, right? And all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. But, like, in, was it H2O? Where, like, they show that he trades
Yeah.
off cars.
He like ripped up the tires on the other one, stole
Yeah.
that chick's car. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like this, I was like, why didn't they just have him take the truck?
Yeah.
And then, half the movie was filmed in that station wagon, so okay.
That station wagon was around a lot. A lot of times it was unnecessary. There's only a few times I can think of it was cool, where like when Loomis was standing there and Mike like drives behind him. That was cool. I liked the scene where he's like driving at a very reasonable speed, might I add.
Yeah.
And the lady's like, "Hey, speed kills," and he like
Speed
stops the brakes, and they're like, "Gee, he can't take a joke." And I was like, "Ooh, you don't even know." But am I crazy? He was driving very, very slow in that scene.
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
I mean, it could have been a school district or something where the speed limit was like 10, because when he slammed on those brakes, it was like,
It did seem sort of violent when he did that, but
yeah,
It could have been like the 5 mile an hour because
it's
the
a
sidewalk
neighborhood
and
or
all that neighborhood. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, it was okay. Like I said, he kills 4 people in this.
He kills the garage dude, his sister.
Well, I didn't count the.
Oh.
those.
Well, then if you don't, he killed the blonde girl, the brunette girl, the guy,
Boyfriend.
the boyfriend. Who
I
else?
think that's it. Because he has them all like in the room waiting for her to like trip the booby traps where they all come like falling
Yeah.
down.
God,
Okay.
can we? Are you gonna mention the blonde girl in the closet?
No, I'm going to mention
Okay.
when Loomis is in the house after they discover the dog,
Uh-huh.
and then the random whatever the fuck it
Wait,
was.
it was like a pipe or something.
Yeah, like breaks the glass, scares the shit out of me.
It was the scariest part of this
What
movie.
is- I was like, why is there pipes falling off this house?
At first, I thought it was like, what's the thing that's on the side of the house where the water drains down?
The gutter.
Okay, yeah.
A rain spout.
Yeah, I thought it was that, and I was like, no, that's just a pipe.
Yeah.
I thought Mike had rigged up like some duct tape pipe thing to swing into it. But
That's the part where Loomis pulls out the piece, and he was
yeah.
yeah.
He's the original Danny DeVito in Always Sunny. He's just always pulling out this gun.
Then he shows the permit. He's like, I have a permit.
Yeah.
I don't know what his accent's supposed to be,
I don't know.
but it's perfect.
The blonde girl I was gonna talk about is because they have the scene where classic slasher scene where the final girl finds all the dead bodies, and they have the one where I guess Mike like hung up this dude, so he starts swinging and stuff. I'm like, okay, but then she opens up this little extra closet, and the blonde girl's in there, and she's like, like the dumbest death face I've ever seen, and I appreciate it. I'm really glad she decided to go with that, but. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing.
Well, let's talk about the blonde girl, because remember the dude goes downstairs and he gets got.
He gets
Hand killer.
that's another
Like the college.
that's another iconic scene with him getting stuck against the wall, which I don't know how that kitchen knife stuck him in the wall and the handle still sticking out and everything, but
But then Michael comes up dressed as a ghost.
Michael, a ghost, yeah.
The glasses and everything. I'm like, what is he doing?
I really appreciated Mike's comedic value in this movie. Yeah, he just stares at her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, what is going on? Like, he did this with no one else.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's got jokes.
So I think it's time for Tyler's favorite part of the show. What's your favorite and least favorite part of this movie? Maverick, would you like to start us off?
My least favorite?
Least favorite and favorite, if you got one.
No, not really. The whole movie sucked balls.
Well, thanks for sharing, Maverick. I learned you.
It's 130 minutes worth of, or 90 minutes worth of.
Sucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Just sucking nuts. Big fat old ram.
What are you talking about?
Anyways,
Yeah.
I like how Michael, they give him that like teleporting but not teleporting type travel,
The
where he just kind of walks everywhere, but like he's just perfect timing.
the
Like dude turns
only
around and they're
yeah.
like, "Ooh."
He does that the whole movie, and then the only time he doesn't do it is he's behind like the laundry, and Jamie Lee Curtis never stops looking at him, or at least they never show her, and then he's just gone. And I was like, did he just Jason Takes Manhattan like teleport and shit? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just really good to where he's just
it was
always
good.
where he needs to be.
My favorite one might have been the when he's standing there and they're walking towards him, and like the friend next to Jamie Lee Curtis is looking down at her book, so she doesn't see him, but Jamie Lee Curtis does, and he sort of like sidesteps back behind it. I thought that was really well done, but
But that's Michael's thing, right? He's just so good at that. Like they lose that later on.
yeah,
I mean, they saw it still is part of his this shtick,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. And the worst part has to be anything in the first 30 minutes.
I'd agree with that.
yeah,
Because the whole them talking about babysitting and them making plans and the whole thing's just bad. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I don't need to know any of this. I don't need to. It's just I know there's a
don't-
plan, but
yeah.
like the whole her seeing her dad at the hardware stop and then feeling
him
some
not
mad-
being able to smell the weed they were just smoking in that
Yeah,
car.
that was bad.
I don't-
What a shit sheriff, dude.
Which Jamie Lee Curtis does say that he definitely smelled it, but so maybe he did, but he definitely didn't allude that he did. So
I don't know. Those are back in the days to where that was like a big deal.
That was a huge deal. Yeah, you were like a hippie loser. If you-
I think you're 10 years in the past, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
78 is like, you're ruining your future.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
type deal. So, but
I
can I ask a question?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you know. I mean, I should know more than y'all. But so they're just smoking nonstop in this movie, right?
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure the age to drink was the same as the age to buy cigarettes.
yeah,
So why'd they make it such a big deal about the beers or whatever?
yeah. Right.
But yeah, they were smoking the whole time.
Like it should have been 18 for both back then.
Yeah, should have been. But
Which-
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Which should be fair. Then, if we go back to H2O, we know that Jamie Lee Curtis was 17 supposedly when this movie was taking place, because that was
I
a
don't
whole
know, maybe
big
you
thing.
can ask your pops what the laws were like back
Yeah.
then.
Maybe.
Because I remember people saying that you could go buy cigarettes and they'd
Yeah.
send their kids and stuff, but I don't know.
I'm looking through here for something that I can say is my favorite or least favorite, but I don't know. I'll say my favorite. I liked it when those kids were going up to the Myers house and Loomis was like crouched behind them. He's like, Lonnie, get your ass away from there, and they go running off. I thought that was funny, but yeah, I don't know what my least favorite part would be. Maybe all the times that like, I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis in that last act was real bad, I think. So, yeah, I don't know what my least favorite would be. It's just,
I mean, there's a couple, like when she locks that closet door and it's the flimsiest shit ever. And you're like, what is he doing? And then he just starts bashing it.
You know what? I'll say that's my least favorite. Not because of that, and him getting stabbed in the eye is cool and everything. But he gets stabbed in the eye, and there's no sound effect for it. There's nothing. He just goes, and he like backs off. And I was like, I guess he got stabbed. Like,
It's just so weird because she's like, kids, go lock the door. And then she's like, I got him. The boogeyman's dead. And he comes walking up the stairs. She goes, go lock the other doors.
yeah,
These places have more locked doors than anywhere I've ever seen
a
in
lot
my
of
life.
doors.
Like
Yeah.
the laundry room that locks by itself. Or like,
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on? Like,
yeah. You know what?
Oh.
You know why these people messed up? They should have just gone to the greenhouse, and they would have been safe. Mike would have left them alone in there, and
I
nothing
don't
would
think
have
they
happened.
had greenhouses back then.
Well, that's
No, they definitely did.
their problem.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you
There
stop
you go.
murder.
This whole movie is actually a metaphor for climate change or something.
Yeah. There's a 2020 initiative about building more greenhouses.
Yeah.
You know, help fight carbon dioxide
Yeah.
with greenhouses.
It seems like it's a theme that I bring this guy up now in every podcast. Fucking famed movie critic Roger Ebert, when asked what the scariest movie they had ever seen was, Robert mentioned the first Halloween movie was extremely scary, and he talked about how he went home that night and like he was taking a shit, and he like had to check behind the curtain of the shower.
So, okay, I know this is classic and we're all desensitized or
Uh-huh.
whatever, but there was no part in this whole thing that I was like scared.
Yeah,
This fat fuck can't stop eating.
I
for
still
2
got
minutes.
I still got two more.
So, but
Yeah.
like none of it was scary. But is that just us like nowadays? How we just
It was all shit. The music or the sound effects were shit. It
Let
was
me-
real quiet
okay.
at times or real loud at times. It was bad.
The music, like the song is bumping. The Halloween theme song is bumping.
yeah, like
will-
from the get go
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
like that's ballsy.
It did get real overused, I think, at some point. Where like just every time you turned around, like either some sound effect would pop out or something. Yeah. Yeah. It just at a certain point I was like, how many times have I heard the same sound effect pop up to try to scare me? But I don't know. Something about movies back then, yeah. I don't know what happened where back then this was like terrifying. And now you watch it and it's like, why were people so scared of this? Because I'm
Was it
sure
the first of its kind.
Black Christmas and Texas Chainsaw Massacre came before it.
Fuck yeah,
But-
eat shit.
But this is the movie they credit for being the prototype for slashers that would to come. But yeah, I'm sure if we were back then and we were 16 or whatever going to see this movie, it'd probably scare us. But like, I don't know what's happened to where it's not scary anymore. Same thing with The Exorcist. I watched The Exorcist and I was like, how did people find this scary?
You know what I think it is?
What's up?
And this is gonna be like me going on a deep end here, right?
Go ahead.
Back in those days, like people didn't lock their doors. They trusted their neighbors. They would give hitchhikers rides, stuff like that. Now we expect everyone to be a monster.
Yeah, every time we look at someone, we're like, they might kill us.
Yeah, a complete normal person, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, I ain't trusting this guy, you know. And then
You know what? That might be. You might be onto something, because like that was just a regular guy that was just going
Yeah.
around the unlocked houses and murdering people and stuff. That might be
That's
like,
why serial killers are. were a
I'm
thing
sure
back then.
after that movie, people started locking their doors.
yeah, it's like when Jaws. They talk about how like the
Yeah.
beaches like got real light the next summer or whatever.
So it's
They went on a diet.
I don't know. I think Texas Chainsaw did the same thing to people. It was such a shock that people weren't out there trying to help you, that they would take advantage and just murder you and eat your flesh or whatever. You laughing at your own joke?
The beach went on a diet.
What?
Because he said that they were real light.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Man,
That's a
this
fun.
dude's been in solitary confinement, quarantine
Yeah.
with just old people.
Go
so now he's
outside.
like, I'm having a hoot.
Go outside. Yeah, it was. I like that though. That seemed like. Yeah, that was good.
Burn notice or whatever.
Yeah.
Burn unit, sorry.
Did I talk
But
about
yeah.
Did I talk about when Mike? I think I started to, but then we went off on how Mike broke the car window. But when Mike steals that car, there's a line where Loomis watches him drive off, and Loomis goes, "Ah, the evil is gone." And I was like, "Oh man, Loomis with his little, like when they're driving earlier, and he keeps calling him it." And she's
Yeah.
like, "Don't you think we should call him him?" And he's like, "If you say so." Like, oh man, Loomis in this movie.
Loomis makes this movie.
He does.
So he makes the next one too, hint, hint.
Mm.
I found him unnecessary. Like, why have him in the movie?
Because he's there to tell you how crazy and evil
Yeah.
this man is. If he wasn't there, you'd be like, why is this guy killing people?
Yeah.
Because back then they didn't have movies like this, so you're like, he must want revenge or something.
Something, yeah.
But instead, it's just pure.
He
evil.
does, like, he's there for that reason. But I get what Maverick's saying. Like, he does not, like in the end, he's the guy. He just comes through to save Laurie or whatever. But he doesn't like play like a bigger. I don't know how I'm trying to phrase it, but he doesn't like play a bigger part than that. If that makes sense.
He is the information. He
has information. That fucking
fills in all the holes.
that scene where he's like.
He's just a motherfucker with a gun.
That scene where like he's like 15 years ago I met a boy with the darkest eyes I'd ever seen or whatever. And he's like pure evil. That's what he is. That was a good scene. His little
and it's
monologue.
funny because we saw him 15 years ago, and he was a blonde-haired kid with blue eyes.
Yeah, he looked like Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, just a clown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll mention this. They're talking about who they're gonna take to prom, and Lori talks about how she wants to go out with Ben Schramer.
Yeah,
And I'll mention that name just for keep in mind Ben Schramer for when we do Halloween too.
I kept looking for him. I didn't see him anywhere, but
Yeah, he was somewhere. This movie was selected in 2006 for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So,
I think I know who Ben Schramer was now. But anyway,
yeah,
yeah. But we'll wait. We'll save that for the next.
yeah. Hey, this was voted the 5th scariest movie of all time by Entertainment Weekly.
Is it number 1, Jaws? Or is that just grossing or whatever?
That's grossing. I remember you gave us like that list.
Yeah. Again, I don't see. I guess it's the death of innocence that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
Because we grew up without it, right? Like,
Yeah, something.
What was the first horror movie you ever remember seeing that really killed your innocence?
I was gonna say Tremors.
No, I think it was a Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'm sure mine was a Friday.
I will say the first memory I have of like a horror movie that now looking back at it, it's a horror comedy, but it's not really a horror movie. I remember staying with my aunt in Colombia, and like a whole family was there. We were having some family get together or whatever.
Doxing his whole family.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cut that out. Cut that out, Thomas. And my cousins, my older cousins, were in their room, and they didn't want me to be in there because I was a little kid that like no one wanted to be with. So I like poked my head. I poked my head in to see what they were watching. They were at that part in Shaun of the Dead where the dude's flipping the switches, and then the zombies are at the window, outside of the bar or whatever. And I remember seeing that, and it scared. I ran back to like where my parents were. I was so scared. But I don't know.
The story. Mine's Child's Play. Like the first Child's Play. Like my mom was just like, "Oh yeah, you can watch this movie with us."
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm sure that it was either Return of the Living Dead or Creepshow, whichever one I watched first.
I used to watch a lot of Tales from the Crypt real late at night. When
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to bed too. So
I saw
those are kind of like Twilight Zone. They weren't necessarily.
Yeah. Saw a complete box set of Tales from the Crypt on Amazon the other day.
How much was it?
It was like, I don't know, $60 or something.
You didn't buy it.
I did not. I'll talk about this. PJ Souls, who's the blonde lady, who she gets murdered. She's the one who choked by the telephone.
Makes the faith that you hate.
They were talking about how when the first screening of this movie took place, she was sitting front row or whatever, and that line where she's like, "See anything you like?" Some male dude behind her was like, "Hell yeah, I do," and she thought it was real funny. But at the time, she was married to Dennis Quaid, and he did not find it very funny. And Dennis Quaid wanted to fight the guy, and she was like, "Leave him alone, Dennis." So shout out to Dennis Quaid.
Is he still alive?
Ooh, I don't know. Originally, they wanted him to be that guy that gets stabbed into the wall. They wanted him, but he was filming something else.
Yeah, some hit movie that wasn't Hollywood.
You want to know who the first guy is they wanted to play Loomis?
This is so long ago.
Yeah, he is still alive. It was motherfucking Christopher Lee.
Christopher Nolan Lee?
Yeah.
The guy who plays Sauron in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, that guy. They wanted him.
He would have been perfect. Yeah,
he says the biggest regret he made was not doing this movie. So there you go.
Or like the Bela Lugosi guy would be really good. The guy from the House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Anyway, I'm trying to speed through facts. We'll wrap this one up soon. Um, did you like? While I'm looking for something else, did you like the scene where the little kid like goes behind the curtain to scare the little girl who's watching the movie? And he's like, "Hey," and she just stands up, and she's like, "Where are
where'd
you?"
you go? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he sees Michael, and the little girl ends up
yeah,
scaring him.
yeah. That was
Like,
good.
quit it! I was like, it's
Yeah, they were watching The Thing this whole movie, and I was like, oh man, look at this. Because then obviously John Carpenter remade The
yeah.
Thing a couple years later. Prior to the movie, a book was written by Curtis Richards and reveals more of the story behind Michael Myers' rage, thoughts, and motives. However, the book is very rare. So there you
That'd be
go.
really good to read because, like, jumping ahead 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
the coolest part of the newest Halloween is it shows Michael in the like sanatorium or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like chained to the ground, and they're like, "I brought the mask," and
Yeah.
they're like, "Why?" And like, because that's your number one question is like, what is Mike's problem, right? Like, why
I've
did he do this and all that? And
I've seen some people. We'll get to Rob Zombie Halloween, but I've seen some people say that's why this movie was so much better than Rob Zombie is because they talk about in this movie Mike's just pure evil and he has no motives. He just likes killing. And then Rob Zombie obviously gives you a background and shows you how everything builds up and stuff.
well,
Um,
that's not necessarily true because if you have no motive and you just like killing, then you would just kill everyone you come across.
yeah, which he does
And
not.
Michael's walking around town, you
Yeah.
know. He's like, "What up, kids?" You know, there's one point to where that little I call him Thomas. I don't know his real fucking name, Chris.
Who?
The little kid who falls on his
Oh,
pumpkin or
Tommy.
whatever. Where you're is his name Tommy? Really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was making fun of you.
Tommy
I didn't know.
Doyle.
But like he's there and those kids are picking on him, and you think Mike's about to like stick up for him or something,
Yeah.
right? Because he's standing there and he sees the kids picking on him, and you're almost certain that he's like calling back to himself, right?
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't slaughter any of them.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay. And then
Though-
right after is that really creepy scene where that kid's walking home.
And he like drives next to him.
He's
Yeah.
he's just chilling next to him, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he just sees himself in that kid or whatever, but
Something.
that's the whole movie. He just wanted to be closer to that kid,
Yeah.
and all these fucking people
Well,
kept getting in his way.
He has that scene where they go to the cemetery and fucking his gravestone
yeah.
for Judith is taken or whatever. And then there's the scene where the brunette's laid out and tombstone's behind her and Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "Oh no." And like it's a cool shot or whatever. But then, obviously we'll get into it with Halloween 2. It doesn't make any sense. Like later, So it's I don't know why Mike decided to put that lady in front of his sister's tombstone, but
So like yeah, like you could tell by the way the second movie shot, even though I'm not gonna get into it that much.
mm-hmm.
And it was like planned. Like this was a continuation of this movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think you could watch both of them back to back at one
I
time.
did, yeah.
I did too.
I watched.
Like I'm surprised they don't offer like a super deluxe edition where
It's just the two.
Super
Yeah.
deluxe.
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
a 4-hour movie or whatever, but it's just
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's hard to sit through.
I want to change my answer, by the way. My favorite part of this movie was when Laurie was sitting at the closet and then you just see like Mike's mask slowly come out of the dark or whatever. That was a good scene.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which the only way they did that is they just had the lights dimmed and then they raised them slightly. And so he was standing there just the whole time. But
Well, what I don't get is she goes in that room, she opens the balcony, and then she goes in that closet, ties it up, and then immediately goes in the corner and starts going, and you're like, how is anyone expecting her not to be found? Like,
right? You are not quiet at all.
yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know why she just didn't fucking, because I don't remember this. It's in this movie when she goes over the stairs, but why she just didn't just jump off that balcony?
Yeah.
See you kids, yoink.
Yeah.
It just hauls off.
Mike was getting some pace in this movie. He was hauling down them steps.
Yeah, like
He
what
like
a
had
time.
it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, the last thing I'll mention in this movie is just because we haven't mentioned it, and I remember when I saw it for the first time, I was like, "That's a really cool ending," which still kind of is, but it's lost its effect a little bit on me. Is when he gets shot out the window, and then they have that dumb line where, well, not dumb, but it's kind of silly when you listen to it now, where she's like, I don't think she even says, "Was that the boogeyman?" She goes, "What's the boogeyman?" And then Loomis is like, "As a matter of fact, that was." And then he like goes and looks, and he's gone, and it kicks back in, and dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's Halloween for you.
I don't know. Like I said, it sets up such greatness that like you gotta walk before you run, and I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Again, there's no time machine, right? To go back in time, and you'd have to like find a kid who's like 7
And just
and then
make him
show
watch.
yeah, make him watch this and see how scared he is.
Yeah.
But even then, like I say 7, you might have to go younger, like 5. or
Yeah,
whatever,
something. I mean,
But,
age 7, they've already had like 4 wins on Fortnite. Like,
Yeah.
they've been murdering people. Yeah.
got a couple of hand jobs.
Oh, I mean, we talked about the sewing needle earlier. The, Halloween 1 and 2, both had idle hands shit in it. Idle hands. We went over how dangerous those sewing needles can be. So I'll talk about the second one when we get to Halloween 2.
Jamie Lee Curtis was using a crochet needle. It wasn't a.
Oh.
And the other girl was using
It
a
was long
knitting.
as hell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know the difference.
Yeah. I was size J or K crochet needle,
Yeah.
and then the other one she was using knitting.
Okay.
Wait, how do you tell the difference?
One has a hook on the end. The other one doesn't.
Hmm.
Oh. See, I wasn't watching the movie, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of me, when Maury talks about how bad it was, part of me is just like, you were sending me memes during half of it. You were drunk. You don't remember. You don't even know if it was good or not.
It was bad. I watched it twice, man. 1.5. 1.5.
Yeah, but you have the worst memory ever.
You do have the
So,
worst memory.
If I asked you what happened in the movie before you watched it the second time, you've been like, stuff.
Here you go. Michael killed some people.
Yeah.
Ran around, stole a few cars. That's about it.
You stole one car.
Not a couple
Yeah.
cars.
I've never met a person who like is so enraged to watch a movie twice.
It's bad. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
You.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Hey.
it's a good movie, solid movie. It's the start of a legacy. Even if it was like a 1, like some idiots would give it, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
So, no offense.
Yeah. No offense.
But that makes it all better. Right?
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, that's Halloween. We're gonna try to get through these fucking things. Hopefully, we'll get it out by the end of October. I'm trying to get it to where the last episode is on Halloween, but we'll see.
We dressing up?
I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna buy a mask.
I'm not gonna buy a mask when I'm dressing up.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've
hopefully.
already decided what I'm gonna be, and it has
Alright.
nothing to do with gore. So
Okay, Maverick, have you gotten your costume yet?
No, I gotta
Alright.
buy a mask.
Okay.
My face is pretty scary as is.
Oh, you ain't lying. Anyway. Anyway. So Halloween. Thanks for listening.
Oh, did you see? I linked you the what I'm gonna call what we should call it.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
It's in the chat.
Me.
I thought it was perfect.
Mr. Sandman presents.
Because I keep playing Mr. Sandman. I don't know why.
It starts with Halloween 2. It
Yeah.
starts, which I don't know why. I ain't complaining about it, but
Yeah.
Good.
yeah.
But it's. I guess he's supposed to put people to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Sandman
But,
presents October special.
They just start calling him Mr. Sandman. So,
They do.
but I don't know. It just seemed better than
All right.
Halloweeny
Yeah.
or whatever.
I was the only one. I was like Halloween-thon. That's what.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like spectacular.
Yeah,
there's
something like that.
many stupid puns already out there
Yeah.
on like fucking candy.
All right. Well, hey, this was episode 1 of Mr. Sandman Presents October special Halloween or whatever. Yeah, we'll buff it out. It's good though. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So thanks for listening. Friday, check out Halloween 2. It'll be out. And we'll try to get through these. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go check out the other ones if you want. Maverick Tyler, thanks for joining us. It's going to be a while till we talk to each other again.
Let us know what you watch for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, what's your go-to Halloween spooky film? Now, first of all, let me get into this. If it's Nightmare Before Christmas or whatever,
or Halloween Town.
Yeah, just fucking delete your comment. All right, you can keep that. If it's fucking Hocus Pocus, you can delete yourself. All right,
I will say though, if it's that one Disney cartoon movie with the girl who gets the fairy godmother and has to save Halloween, that's a good one. You can say that one.
Just because we don't know the name of it, so I can't.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
I'm just so tired of those movies. Like everyone brings them up.
I've never watched them.
You never watched Nightmare Before Christmas?
I've never watched that. I've never watched Coraline. I've never watched any of that Tim Burton animated stuff.
We need to watch Coraline, dude. I haven't watched that yet.
Nightmare Before Christmas is really good, but everyone talks about it so much that it fucking.
I see that guy everywhere.
Yeah, Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, it's amazing, but
yeah,
you have all these like fat chicks who are in love with it, and you just and you're like, yeah, calm down, Rita. Grab another fucking donut. And fucking don't worry. Hogwarts will reopen soon.
Well, on that note,
bitch, get out of here.
I'm a Hufflepuff. Nah, you just Huffy. You're like, get out of here. Anyway,
you guys are mean.
You're meaners.
You're meaners. All right.
Thanks for watching.
Well, on that note, yeah, thanks for watching. Tell us what you watch for Halloween. And we'll check you next time. Oh, that's terrible. We'll see you next time.
No, you should be like, we'll stab you next time. Halloween.
Stab.